tree. I am now booing because I want to cheer. First impression, I was actually, I liked it. I'm not even going to try and lie with you guys. I legitimately liked it because this is, and it's something that they didn't market, and I thought was strange that you wouldn't market such a cool feature, is this, and I can't show it to you because this device no longer functions. Alrighty, welcome to the PNW Gorilla channel. I am your host, PNW Gorilla, or, my real name, which is Alex Rogenkamp. Doxed. So, today we're going to be talking about the Hoplite Industries DNV-9. Why you should be listening to me. A little backstory on me and my experience with night vision. So I was issued my first PVS 14 Gen 3 analog night vision back in 2010. Oh man. Out of the military in 2016, I continued training, and I have continued training ever since with and without night vision, and I would say that I probably have more experience than most. Actually en route to go do my birthday weekend out in the hills with the boys. So the fact that I'm even making this video for you guys right now, like, I should delete, like, I want a pat on the back or something. That's for Patrick. Because I'm supposed to be hanging out with the boys. Now, by no means, by no stretch of the imagination, am I trying to tell you right now that I have more experience than you, or I have more experience than professional door kickers. What I'm trying to convey is that I have thousands of hours now on analog night vision. I have used digital night vision as well. I have reviewed digital night vision on this channel, and one of my main night vision cameras currently is still a digital night vision device. It is the Aurora Classic. What's going on? Editor Alex here. I don't know why I never mentioned in this video, because I meant to mention it, I just didn't. I also have my degree in mechanical engineering. It's an associate's degree, so it's not like, woo. But I sort of know what I'm like looking at and doing, and I understand a lot of like going into building, shit like this. Just so we know. Okay. Back to video. The Aurora Classic, which is a fantastic night vision device for videography and filming, so on and so forth.
Let me turn mine off.
You get it. That's better.
Yeah, but I can't see you through my camera now.
Wake up, nigga. We gotta get this money.
It's just about time for your shift. And Monkey Man. Yeah. Wakey, wakey. Hands off Snakey. Wake up, Firewatch, bitch. Dark mode.
I need to brush my teeth.
I do use digital night vision for some purposes. I do firmly believe that digital night vision does have some uses. I have been discussing this heavily with other content creators. So I want you to know as well that this is not just my opinion. This is the findings of multiple other people that have been testing the same things that I am testing. I'm gonna turn up the brightness just a smidge. Man, that really kills the view for you guys, doesn't it? All right, well, you can see me better, and I guess that's what matters. You're like, get on with it. So this video is not sponsored by any means. I would like to let you know that I did pay with my own money for this digital night vision device. I did get a 35% off discount. So if you're wondering maybe, oh, but did he get this for free? Is he giving it a good review because he got it for free? I did pay my own money. I'm about $950 into this so far. I want to say it was retailing at $1,100, I want to say, in efforts to give you guys as honest of a review as possible, and that's something that I really want to do here on this channel, is trying to give you guys honest reviews. I was recently watching the Act Man, one of my favorite nerd YouTubers, and he said something that really hit home. It helped me want to make this video that much more. People boo because they want to cheer.
People boo because they want to cheer.
This is how I felt going into this night vision device, is that there was a lot of hype, there was a lot of drama, there was a lot of buzz surrounding it. This is the device, or what is left of the device. This was supposed to be connected, and it was connected at one point in time. It is no longer connected, as you can see. Not only did you need 8 CR123s to be able to run this device, you needed 2 more so that way you could run the illuminator with it. This meaning that it almost took an entire box of CR123s. I highly recommend Surefire CR123s. If you are messing around with night vision, use quality batteries. Use quality batteries, guys. So I only buy Surefire when it comes to CR123s. I do not cheap out. That is just me. So you would have to use almost an entire box of CR123s to be able to power this unit as it was sent to me. The mounting system that they chose to use has no breakaway feature. Now, when I say breakaway, I mean that if it gets enough tension, if it gets enough resistance, break out. Like with Surefire, if you get too much tension on one of your flashlights, then it just pulls out a socket, not a big deal. You just put it back in the socket. With this one, both sides were tightened to each other, exposed wires. Now, this is not the deal breaker, all right? This is not the part of the device that I'm upset about. Like with many things, when you are getting into a Kickstarter, and this started out as a Kickstarter. This started out as a cool concept from New Zealand of, hey, we are trying to give guys in Europe another solution, another choice, another option amongst, you know, all the options that us in the United States really get to utilize, and the guys in Europe are kind of, you know, just sucking dick in the wind, for lack of a better phrasing. So let's go into a little bit more about the unit, and then I'm going to compare it a little more to other devices that I have here. Now, before I get into other devices, I would like to let you guys know I'm very aware that some of what I'm going to be showing you is not in the same price bracket as this. The DNV-9, all right, and maybe let's back up a little bit, kind of a play-by-play of me unboxing this. When I took this out of the box, it was in a very nice, flashy box, which was pretty much just a Pelican case. Which is not bad, I'm not hating on that. It was like, oh, cool, a little bit of presentation. I opened up the box. There is no manual, there is no instructions, nothing on the device or a spec sheet. I got absolutely nothing. And as you can see here, there are no markings on the device itself. Thinking the least common denominator. I'm thinking guys that are buying night vision for the first time, because realistically speaking, if you're buying digital night vision, it is because you're a poor boy and you're trying to get some sort of alternative. You're trying to get a cheaper option. And so that's the reason that, you know, digital night vision seems appealing. Not only that, but there's also a $600 unit that they are starting to offer on this device as well. You wouldn't have to mount it to anything. Technically speaking, a lot of my complaints would kind of go out of the window. Not all, but a lot of my complaints would go out of the window if this was just a handheld and only a handheld. A lot of my complaints are gonna leave. Like I was saying, there's no markings on any of the buttons. I didn't know what the buttons did. I'm pressing buttons and I can't get the unit to turn on. I don't understand what I'm doing. All the connection seems right. I go and check the battery pack again. Okay, everything's in the right place. This should be set up correctly. What I soon found out is that this right here is your on button. So while it is on your face, right here is your on button. Now this on button, unlike every single night vision device I have ever used in my entire life, This night vision device takes 6 seconds to turn on. I took it out that night. Luckily enough, it was a full moon on the night that I unboxed this. So that is cool that I was able to get full moon when I unboxed this and started using it.
All right, there's proof that it's full moon tonight. There you go. Full fucking moon.
In my environment with 100% lume from the moonlight, I could see absolutely nothing.
Playback. Okay. It's not the worst. The static is just because of the camera recording, and then the lines are because of the face sensor on my phone, which I usually cover up. But anyway, it's not the worst with higher illumination. I don't hate it. The lag isn't, it's not the best ever. It's not horrible. The clarity is just because of my own camera. It usually looks like this without the lines. So it looks better than this, but yeah. It's not the worst, not the best.
That this is marketed as it requires an illuminator. So as this requires an illuminator, that is going to 100% take you out of any category that would possibly ever even remotely get close to saying that this is a combat effective device. This now gets shoved into the category of where my other digital night vision is. Can I use this in leisure? Can I use this in peacetime? Can I use this for recording video? Can I use this for maybe protecting my chicken? A lot of people in Europe don't have to worry about other people using night vision. So the fact that you have to use an illuminator, it's not the biggest problem ever. Shit hits the fan. Realistically speaking, not a lot of people are going to be using nods. That's just honest. Not a lot of people are going to be using nods. And even at that, I recommend that pretty much everyone, if you don't own night vision, go out and buy you a really nice red light capable headlamp. I highly recommend the Princeton Tech Remix. This is the the headlamp that I use. It has 2 brightness settings for red light, and then you have to hold it, and then you go to white light. Highly, highly, highly recommend that red light. But my point there being is that I recommend men have red light and use red light. Shit hits the fan at night, what have you. So the fact that I'm recommending red light, this puts you in a similar category of using digital night vision with an illuminator. You're still putting out about the same amount of light of an IR illuminator versus a red light. Anyone else has night vision and they're scanning, they're going to see a red light versus an IR illuminator out the same. One of my buddies came out and we were testing out just a little bit of back and forth of his PVS 14, both of my PVS 14s versus this, and then the Sionix Aurora has a fisheye lens. And the fisheye lens, what it's able to do, if you know anything about fisheye lenses whatsoever, fisheye lens is able to let you open up and see a vastly wider picture. Your field of view, oh, that looks cool. Comes to night vision is that your depth perception is going to be all over the place. But I actually legitimately liked it. What was really cool that I found with this is that using the fisheye lens and a illuminator, that I no longer had that depth of field, that infinite focus kind of issue that you have with most night vision. So a lot of guys that are running duals, what they'll do is they'll focus one side of the night vision for close, and they'll focus another one for far. So you're using both eyes at the same time. One of the biggest things when it comes to night vision is having that field of view and always messing around with focus. And that's something you're constantly doing with night vision is dealing with that focus, and you gotta get that the large focus, and then you dial it back in with the closer ones. And I can pull out my my PVS 14s and show you guys that further. But that was something that was really cool about this, is that I didn't have to do that. I no longer had to worry about the focus in and out. I could just see everything. And I've never had that with a night vision device, and that was cool. So right out of the box, I was like, oh fuck, they're actually doing something different. Well, why wasn't this marketed? Why wasn't I told about this feature? Because this is actually cool. That is probably, yeah, that's probably the only nice things that I have to say. All right, so let's get into the bad. If the, oh, you know what? One more good thing. You get one more good thing. All right, so the dovetail mount on this it actually seems like it's the correct size. I don't know how many night vision devices now that the dovetail mount doesn't seem to click in quite right. And oh man, does that just drive me insane. So that in itself is cool. I like that. All right, so let's get into my next complaint, or I guess all of the complaints. Okay, so first off, this is how my helmet fits on my head. This is how I wear my helmet right here on my body. This is how this night vision device fits on my face. Right here. So as you can see, night vision device is right here, my eye is right here. Once again, this is how I wear my helmet. I'm not articulating it. I'm not doing anything else that I normally wouldn't do right now. So for me to be able to properly see through this device, I now have to cant my helmet up at about a 15 degree for me to be able to look through this. Now, that might not seem like the biggest deal to a lot of you. That might not seem like a problem. But once you start moving, once you start running, once you start sprinting, once you start doing anything with a helmet, you want it mounted correctly, even with a beard. All right, when I am moving, would you cooperate? Even with a beard, when I am moving, I still buckle it underneath my beard. So this way, when I am, doing what I'm doing, this is properly mounted to my helmet. I can dive, I can jump, I can dip, dodge, dive, dodge, dip, dodge. And my helmet is mounted to my head, even though it's under my chin. Sure, it's not the most comfortable, or it can be a goofy goober and, do this thing where it's like that. Which, once again, that's an option. But that alone tells me that when manufacturing this, when making this, at no point in time was this ever mounted to a helmet. That is what this information is telling me, is that, and I know that they were selling these before they were prototyped. And I think that was probably one of the biggest L's right there. That was probably one of the dumbest moves possible, is selling these before they were tested. Okay, and I'm gonna forget. What I would have done, and I would say this later in the video, I'm just gonna say it now, I would have recommended doing, and I think that it would have been perfectly fine if they would have gone this route, is send out prototypes telling people that they are prototypes and just say, and pay full price, right? Because I would have paid full price just to test this, send it back, and then get a new one. And by no means am I trying to run this company through the mud. I'm not trying to absolutely do them dirty. I don't want to say that, like, you shouldn't support these guys ever, forever. I think that their marketing was stupid. I think that they could have done this better with prototyping it and telling people of, hey, this is a prototype, we're working on it. In no way is this production ready. In no way, shape, or form is this production ready. This is a prototype, and I'm almost wanting to review this as a prototype because it's so comically bad. It's so impressively fucking bad that I am amazed. I'm shocked and amazed at how bad this is. I don't even know, like, I'm trying to, like, articulate and gather words to be able to tell you how fucking horrible this is. So let's go into my number one complaint so far, and that is this. That this is my number one complaint right now, is that in no way is this mounted in a logical way. It doesn't make sense, the system that they used here. So as you can see right here. All right, welcome to my backyard. So we're looking at the articulation point of contact for tightening this down. As of right now, it's just kind of now, as this did not come with any instructions at all, I'm kind of playing some guessing work. I'm assuming that right in here, I'm assuming this is our tightening point, or at least that's what would make sense, since it's the only point of contact, really. So as I wasn't given a tool for this, I'm just kind of guessing here. I'm assuming that you're supposed to just tighten this down, and the more you tighten this down, the more rigidity you have there. But it doesn't really seem, unless I'm missing something, which I could possibly be missing something. But as of now, it doesn't seem like there's any rigidity whatsoever to this, no matter how much I tighten this down. Yeah, if I figure this out, we'll come back to you. Okay, so I have dismounted it from the stage left side of the housing unit, or like the main block. And if you see here, everything that is broken away on the left side is perfectly fine on the right side. There's no breakage yet. So there's still, see this? It still hops into place. Like, it still goes into place on the right side and has retention. And then you go on the left side and it's all flippity floppity again. And then you go on the right side. Oh, there it goes. And there's that retention. And there we go. See, retention, retention, retention. And then you hit there and it's just flippity. So I hit it, that's where it stops. So yeah, essentially they put all the retention on this one little ball joint right here, and when as soon as it's gone, it's gone. It's what you get. I assume there's like this bracket itself, you could probably remove and replace fairly easily. I doubt that this is extremely expensive, but that would then mean that I need to have a spare one of these with me if I'm doing anything. That is, if I'm trying to, you know, actually train and be out in the mountains and doing shit. If, you know, if you're just hunting and hanging out or whatever, I guess it doesn't matter. You can replace this as you go, but it's just one more expense, just one more thing that's going to break down. And yeah, that did not last long at all. Like, I saw another review that someone else did on YouTube. It was a beautiful, flashy review that he did. And he just showed off the outside of it, but if you zoom in, you could already see that his was doing the same thing.
Enhance. Enhance. Enhance.
Just print the damn thing.
And so because of this, it's so comically fucking bad that once again I hate reviewing this as a night vision device, because I kind of want to review it as a joke, because this is a joke. But there's potential here, and I see potential here. I like the fact that you're running off of one central bracket right here, and that this unscrews completely. And if I wanted to, I could buy another one of these housings, and I could just screw it into this side, and then plug it in right here. So that in itself is a cool concept. I like that concept. If they started selling brackets like this, right, like a central housing unit where I could put in 0 minutes. Stand by. I need to fix my car. Pause. Commercial break.
Brutes! The faster you can kill... Brutes! The faster you can kill... Brutes! The faster you can kill...
Okay, we are so back. Wow. All right, so this might feel like no time at all for you guys, but that was just like a half hour for me. To my car, grab another SD card, because I realized the SD card that I was filming on was the same one that I took one of my buddy's wedding photos with, and I wasn't about to format that card. So, Rody, love you, bud. We are back in for an honest review. So, I don't know where I left off. I'm just gonna be completely real with you. In total, I have less than an hour of runtime with this digital night vision device before it completely failed on me. I have now taken this out in the mountains one singular time, and that was it. I honestly could not tell you what finally did it in. I don't know if it was because it was lightly drizzling, so it got a little wet. I didn't take it on a ruck or anything like that. It was raining that night, and I brought it out to camp. I had it with me. I plugged it in. I was showing it to a couple of guys around the fire. We were discussing it. I turned it off, put it back in my pack. I got home. So it was maybe, I don't know, 3 days later or so. I was talking to another buddy about it. Went to show it to him. I was talking about the lag time. I turned it on. I counted out. I put it up to my face. You know, it turned on, and then it turned off. And I was gonna have him look through it, but it didn't turn back on. So, you know, that was all she wrote. I got about an hour of runtime in the Pacific Northwest. Now, mind you, I want to kind of get this out of the way, and I'm trying to guard this from the wind as much as possible. I know this probably sounds like ass for you guys, but I understand completely that I am extremely rough on equipment. I am not a gentle person. Not by any stretch of the imagination am I a gentle person. So if a product lasts with me, that tells me something, and I can recommend that product. So any product that I am using to extension, any product that I'm recommending, I firmly believe that means something, because I put my gear through hell. And if you don't believe me, that's perfectly fine. It's just as simple as, like, you know, look at this paint job, right? Like I beat up my equipment pretty well. You know, like, everything on this gun has been tested. It has been beat. You know, like, just the brass deflector alone, she's beat up. Like, I regularly beat up my equipment on the regular. I'm very aware that my equipment, no matter what I do to it, it's going to continue to function because I beat it up now in peacetime. Now, I don't regularly go out and just throw my equipment.
So that was a fucking lie.
Actually, so one of the guys that I've been talking to for this review, we started out hating each other. We started out fighting because we did not agree, and we still do not agree on some night vision practices. So I want to get this out of the way, and I want you to understand the level of which that I'm trying to get honest feedback and honest review and honest points of view with this night vision device, because I reached out to someone that I had blocked. I reached out to somebody that I did not like. I reached out to him concerning this night vision device because I saw that he was one of the #1 haters for this device. And as I'm trying to do my best to give an honest review for this device, I reached out to him. I need to know why you're hating on this so much. I need to know what is going on, what's the deficiencies, what's going on with this, what's going on with this, what's going on here, etc., 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 etc. So not only did I reach out to one of the Hoplite Industries haters, but it was someone that Hoplite Industries, you know, and personal message to you guys, personal message to anyone that has bought their equipment or is planning on buying their equipment. I think that there's still potential here. I firmly believe that the platform that we have been given, that there is potential, that a lot of things here can be fixed. They can push forward. I think that they can prevail and make a useful night vision device. We are going to need at least fixes. I'm going to need replacement parts to make this functional again. I would absolutely love, and I'm just being honest here, guys, I would love to be able to come back here and tell you guys that we got all the replacements, we got everything back from Gen 1, and we have Gen 2 on the way. Not only that, but they are working on a Gen 2, but it's in the exact same vein, right? Is that I don't think Gen 2s should be sold right now. Hell, Gen 1s shouldn't have been sold at all. Now, once again, I am a business owner, all right? I'm currently testing out products for the market. I am currently, I have a product right here that I am personally testing. Ultra lightweight light bars, flashlight past your muzzle device or suppressor, so that way you don't have this barrel shroud, you don't have this suppressor shroud in your white light when you're using it. Now, by no means am I the first company to ever do that. It's being made in Poland. Well, it was made in Poland. Tested them, I beat the fuck out of them, and I feel comfortable now selling this because I beat the ever-living fuck out of it, and I've seen it perform. So that is my biggest thing with this night vision device right now, is that I have not seen this perform. I have not seen this being able to be beat on. I was gentle on it. I was light on it, and it fell apart in my hands. Now, for the PVS-14s, one of the PVS-14s that I have here, and now let's start getting into that. Okay, so I've said pretty much everything I can say about this device. And once again, I think there's potential there. I do. There are things that I like about it. There's a lot that needs to change. So, you know, take that for its worth. As far as my review for that goes, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. You could end this video here. Okay, so now let's divulge a little bit into PVS-14s and why I highly recommend PVS-14s. If you are a baller on a budget, if you are a lethally poor man, woman, ogre, whatever you identify as, I don't care. If you are strapped for cash, should you go digital night vision? And the answer is no. Absolutely not. Digital night vision has potential. I think that it's going in the right direction, but it's not there yet. Now, that being said, if you are interested in my reviews, if you're interested in my opinion, if you like the honesty, I will be reviewing the PVS-69. Are sending me a unit to test, and they have already told me that if it breaks, it breaks. It's a tool, whatever. If it breaks, we'll send you another one. So I love that transparency, and that is the night vision device that I will be testing next. But into the PVS-14, one of the saltiest PVS-14s I've seen in a very, very long time. Getting off of active duty, I bought my first PVS-14, and I want to say it was 2017, 2018, in that time frame. And I actually bought it from Weapon Outfitters, so shout out to them for hooking a brother up. It was a used device, $1,700, and oh my God, it was beat up, bro. It was beat to shit. It was tie-tie, big tie-tie. And I was able to train with it. I was able to use it. I used it for years. And I was able to, you know, save up enough money that I could sell that one off and buy a better PVS-14. The main PVS-14 that I'm running right now is about $3 grand or so. I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic PVS-14. It's been doing me justice. The other PVS-14 that I currently have is, once again, salty. I prefer PVS-14s. If you are a guy for duels, I have RNVGs right here that I'll be selling here soon, so, you know, let me know. But PVS 14s, I really like PVS 14s for the availability that I can take my PVS 14 and just hand it off to somebody else. You know, I can just rip off one of my bridge. Here you go, bud. Here's some night vision. I've done this on I don't know how many occasions now, and it's just nice. So, and I know N7's already gonna give me shit for it. I do not like my night vision tube being sunlight. I absolutely hate it. Crazy thing is that I also bought this for, I want to say it was $1,800, and it just keeps working. So I have this on, if you make products and your company or your name is not on that product, fuck you. And I understand that if a night vision device is technically off, then it can't be blemmed. This is what I'm being told, but I think it's just like the boomer in me that I just don't want my... If you are lethally poor, the PVS 14, in my opinion, is the bee's knees. That's the cat's meow. That is the creme de la creme in Europe. If you're in Canada, if you're in one of these non-NATO countries, all right, I highly recommend that you guys look into other methods than digital night vision. There are, and I've been told, I forget the name of the company. I was talking to Hop, not Hoplite, but Hop, the autistic one in Oregon. I was talking to him on the phone about specifically this, and he said, and I quote, "The men that do not have analog outside of the US aren't trying hard enough. There are other ways to get night vision that aren't digital." If you're the guy in the group that has spare change, if you are the man that is trying to help out the men local to you, yes, digital night vision can be a placeholder, and that's all it is right now, is a placeholder. Hunting, right? Hunting pigs, if you're hunting hogs, if you're trying to protect your own property, digital night vision also isn't terrible there. So there are applications, and I don't know how many times I need to say this. I think that this does have potential. It does. I see potential here. But as of right now, as of time of recording, I do not recommend this in any way, shape, or form. I don't recommend this unless you're wanting to support this company to see what they can do in the future. Because once again, they have done a couple of things that I have never seen before, and I think are really cool and really exciting, and I'd love to see this pushed out further. As I already said, I hope that in a couple of months I can be giving you guys another YouTube video of saying that, hey, I got this back, I got these fixed, and now we're gonna try part 2. There's potential here. There is. So, honest guerrilla review. I hope you guys appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the scenery that is my home. I really appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to, you know, listen to some guy out in the middle of the mountains rant about night vision for an hour. I don't know how long I've been recording now, but once again, appreciate you guys. I have a website. I sell military surplus. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm on Instagram again. YouTube, you're already here. Telegram. Gang, so we're back here at HQ. It is pissing rain. I wanted to give a little bit of something extra. I didn't feel like the review that I did, I mean, I went in depth, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I could have done a little bit more. So I went out and bought a $200 PVS 14 made by ET Dragon. This is as Chinesium as you can possibly get. $200. So off of 2 Duracell AA batteries, I was able to power this for 5 hours last night. Once again, to reiterate, 5 hours. I'm reiterating, this is as Chinesium as you can possibly get. iBox is quite literally a box, and the clarity is meh. To say the least, it is absolutely meh. But here's the thing that this is doing that this was not able to, is that it's still on. For $200, this is still working. I left this outside last night, and and I was able to swap the batteries and continue using this absolute piece of dog shit night vision. It's got it for a second. There it is. All right, so there's the iBox. It's trash. It's absolute trash. This thing is still on. It is pissing wet. It's still on. And once again, I abuse my stuff, all right? Okay, so here's another thing. I was sent one device, one singular device, okay? So for you to get a proper trend, for you to get a proper medium, you need at least 3, and ideally you'd want a larger sample size to pull from. This is a huge reason that statistics are extremely important, and you want to get proper statistics. What was the sample size? What was the pool size? How many people were surveyed? How many units were actually tested versus how many got sent out and are just sitting on desks, all right, are sitting in safes, or are just sitting around? How many units that have been reviewed have been reviewed properly? And you could use this for anything across the board. You could use this way of thinking for absolutely anything. Like, you know, I want to, when I review a product, when I see a product reviewed, or when I'm looking at a product, right, I want to know what was done with that product. I want to see honest reviews. I want to see torture tests. I want to see burn down tests. I want to see that piece of equipment, depending on the price value, right? If it's something small, then, you know, who gives a shit? If I'm paying over $1,000, I need to know what that can go through. I need to know what that can handle. And I know that I'm just, this is like a separate rant kind of thing at this point, but you know what? I'm gonna keep ranting all the same, because that's what you guys are here for. If I want to trust a product, if the end of the world happens, shit hits the fan, I want to know a product has been through it. Like the SADF Type 83 battle jackets, right? More men have probably been dispatched using a rig like this. You know this has been through it. You know for a fact this has been through it. All the Molly 2 equipment, you know that that's been through it. Alice equipment, you know that that's been through it. I want equipment that I know can withstand war. If we are talking gun accessories, if we're talking shit hits the fan, if we're talking end of the world, I'm not looking for toys. I don't want a toy. What I'm getting at is that it's still on, and I spent $200, and it's still on, and it's pissing rain, and it's still on. That's what I'm trying to get at here. I used to hacky sack when I was in high school. Oh, it's been a while, okay? It's still on. $200 digital PVS 14. Notice that is on. And it is still on. Ooh, it hit the post on that one. There's a tree. Two batteries here, and it turns on. I just threw this up against a tree. I just hacky sacked with this. Now, like I said in the version 1 of this review, all right, still hopeful that I can come back to you guys with a part 2 and be like, hey, look, this is tits, all right? This is it. I'd say, if anything, as of right now, I very much hope that they push back the release of that Gen 2 and make sure that there's getting proper testing before that is released. Appreciate you guys as always. Ape Together Strong, Rifle and Mountain, and I will see you guys in the next one. Sorry, it just felt right. All right, peace.